Become AutoCAD expert step by step. Hello friends, I am your guide Amit Garg and you are watching my channel CAD by Amit. Friends, in the previous lecture we started working on modify commands and we covered the first 6 modification commands as well. In this lecture I am going to cover the next 4 commands, and the commands are array, scale, stretch and lengthen commands. And I am going to cover all the 4 commands with good examples. Friends, if you have not subscribed by this channel as yet, please do it now. And also keep watching this lecture till end because this lecture is going to be very informative. So let's get started. The 7th command is array command. The shortcut is AR. Array command is used to place object in an arrangement with fixed distances or angles. We have 2 types of arrays, A, rectangular array, B, polar array. So let's see the rectangular array first. For understanding the rectangular array, let us go through this diagram. Here I have created one square with each side equal to 10 millimeters, and all the 4 corners of this square are joined by 2 diagonal lines. Now these horizontal lines we call as rows and the vertical lines we call as columns. So in a rectangular array we actually place one object in the arrangement of rows and columns, where we are supposed to give the row offset and the column offset values. Now here we have 3 rows and 4 columns. Now in case I want to keep this horizontal distance from edge to edge as 20 millimeters, the column offset value will be taken as 30 millimeters. The reason is this object's length is 10 millimeters. So I will add 10 millimeter with 20 millimeters. So the total distance I am supposed to give will be 30 millimeters. And this distance should be given for column offset. Similarly, we consider the vertical distances. In case I want to keep the distance between this edge to this edge as 10 millimeters, the row offset value should be given as 10 millimeters plus the height of the object, which is 10 millimeters, equal to 20 millimeters. So the distance between the center of this row and the center of this row will be 20 millimeters. So friends, this is how we calculate the gap between the objects, between the rows and between the columns. So let's see one example. For this rectangular array command, I am taking the example of this armchair. Now this armchair length or the horizontal distance is approximately 600 millimeters and the vertical dimension is also 600 millimeters. I want to make a rectangular array with this armchair. So I'll go for an array command. I'll take the command from modify. I can click over here. Otherwise, I can take the command from ribbon toolbar by clicking on the modify panel over here. Otherwise, I can simply type down its shortcut AR. So as I type down AR, I enter into the array command. I'll select the rectangular array option. I want 3 rows. That means the horizontal lines I want are 3. The vertical lines I want are 4. And this is how my array will look like. So this is a preview area of this command where software is showing me what is the meaning of 3 rows and 4 columns. Then I am supposed to give the row offset. The row offset value I want to give, because the 600 is the approximate height of this, or the vertical dimension is 600, and I want to keep some gap also between the armchairs. So I'll keep it to 950 millimeters, and column offset I want to keep as 1000 millimeters. Then I click on select object options and I select this armchair by using a normal window. as I press enter, we should always go for a preview option, never go for OK option at the first instance because there might be some problem in the array. So we always go for a preview option, and this is how my array is coming up. In case I press enter or I say OK, this array will be created. So this is how a rectangular array command can be used. Next is a polar array. In a polar array, we place the object in a circular arrangement. For example, we again have the same square geometry, and I want to place this square geometry around the circle, and I want to place 8 instances of this geometry around the circle. So for this kind of arrangement, we should go for a polar array. Here in this polar array, I'll select the number of objects as 8. I'll select the total angle to be covered as 360 because I want to place it along the circle, around the entire circle. And then I select the object and I run the command to get this kind of arrangement. So let's move to the model space now and see one example. Now friends, here we have an example of the same armchair, and I want to place this chair around this coffee table. So let's go to the polar array command by typing down AR on the command line. I press enter. I come to the array command dialog box and I click on the polar array option. The first thing I am going to select is the center around which I want to place the object. So I'll just catch the center point of this coffee table. Then we have 3 methods over here. The first method is asking for total number of items and angle to fill. Second is total number of items and angle between items. And the third one is angle to fill and angle between items. In most of the cases, we work with the first method. So I'll take up the first method, and the remaining balance 2 methods you can try out. These are very simple methods. You simply have to change the parameters. So I'm clicking on the first method. I want to place 6 chairs, suppose, and I want to place it in 360 degrees angle. In most of the situations, the rotate items as copied option should be kept as on. Then I click on this option. I need to select the chair. I'll select it using the window or using the crossing window. I press enter, and as I click on preview, you can see that the 4 chairs are placed around the coffee table. Now supposingly we later on decided to keep 4 chairs only, I can change this parameter total number of items to 4, and I can again click on preview to keep this arrangement to 4 chairs placed, and then I can press enter to finally confirm this command. So this was a polar array. The next command is the 8th command is scale command. The shortcut is SC. Scale command is used to increase or decrease the size of the object in both the direction in same ratio. We can scale up the object or we can even scale down the object. For taking up the example, I have drawn one rectangle here, and the rectangle length is 50 millimeters. We have this rectangle drawn originally. The length is 50 millimeters and the breadth is 25 millimeters. I want to scale it up. Scale up means I want to increase the size of the object. And here I am going to take up the scale factor as 2. That would mean the size of this object will double in both the directions. This will become double in the horizontal direction as well as double in the vertical direction because scale command works like that only. So this is how we scale up. Similarly, we can scale down also. Now here, suppose my original rectangle is having a length of 100 millimeters and the breadth of 50 millimeters, and I want to scale it down. I'll keep the scale factor as 0.5. So 0.5 scale factor will simply reduce it in both the directions, means the length of the rectangle will be reduced to half as well as the height of the rectangle or the breadth of the rectangle will also be reduced to half, making it 50 millimeters length and 25 millimeters as the breadth. And in both the situations, I have taken point A, this lower left corner of the rectangle, as the base point. So this point will remain on its position, on its location. So let's move to the model space and try out this particular command. For the example, I again have an armchair, and supposingly I want to just double its size in both the directions, that means horizontal direction as well as the vertical direction. I'll go for a scale command from the modify tab. I can pick the command from here. Otherwise, I can take the command from the modify panel on the ribbon toolbar. I can click over here, or else I can type down SC, which is a shortcut for scale command. Just select the object that you want to scale, press enter, pick the base point position will remain fixed. As I click here, this is asking for the scale factor now, and I give the scale factor as 2. So as I type down 2 and press enter, see the object size has become just double in both the directions. Now let us go for a scale down option. I again go for a scale option. I select the armchair. I take the base point as the same point and give the scale factor as 0.5, and chair is again reduced to the half size, means the original size, because the scale factor was 0.5. Similarly friends, in case you want to scale up your drawing to 3 times of the size, you can give the scale factor as 3. If you want to scale up your drawing to 4 times of the size, you can give the scale factor as 4. Command number 9 is a stretch command. The shortcut is S. A stretch command is used to change the size of the object in one direction by selecting vertex points. Friends, what happens? Sometimes we do not want to change the size of the object in both the directions. Rather, I want to stretch the object in a particular direction. Like we again have a rectangle with length as 100 millimeters and breadth as 50 millimeters. And I want to change the length of this rectangle, like I want to make it 150 millimeters suppose. So I need to take this stretch command. So let us see this in the model space. Friends, here we have a rectangle having a length of 1000 millimeters by 500 millimeters, and I want to increase its length by 500 millimeters. That means I want to make its total or the final length as 1500 millimeters. I'll go for a stretch command by typing down S. We'll select both of these vertex points using a crossing window. I click there, press enter, pick the base point, and then I can type down @500, 0. Yes, here I am using relative Cartesian coordinates. As I press enter, the rectangle length has increased and the length has become now 1500 millimeters precisely. Now sometimes I want to change the position of a particular point only. So I will simply select one vertex point. I'll press enter, take this point as the base point, and I can type down @-500, 0. So this point will move towards left hand side, and a polygon or this rectangle is converted into a polygon. We can use the stretch command taking the reference also. Sometimes we have this kind of requirement, like this corner of this polygon I want to place it on the end point of the line. We'll go for a stretch command. I'll select this vertex point, enter. I'll catch it because object is snapped, the end point option is already on, and I'll place it on the end point of the line. So see, the vertex point of this polygon has come up on the end point of the line. So this was a stretch command. Now let us see this stretch command on our object. Basically we are working on the same 3-seater sofa we used earlier. We go for a stretch command, and my purpose right now is to stretch a sofa towards right hand side and towards left hand side. This is a 3-seater sofa. I want to stretch it towards right hand side by 200 millimeters suppose. So I'll select it using a crossing window. I'll press enter. I'll catch this corner as the base point. I'll simply type down @200, 0, and see this three-seater sofa is stretched towards right hand side. Now supposingly this seat which is on the left hand side, I want to stretch it towards left hand side. I'll go for a stretch command again, selected using the crossing window, press enter, pick the base point and type down @-200, 0. Why -200? Because we want to stretch it towards left hand side. Now see, this three-seater sofa is stretched on both the directions, 200 millimeters towards right hand side and 200 millimeters towards left hand side. And the last command for today's lecture, that is the 10th command, is lengthen command, shortcut LEN. Lengthen command is used to change the length of a circle, of a line, arc or an open polyline. Yes friends, this particular command will work on three type of objects only: a line, arc and a open polyline. Or basically this command, we have four different options in this command. The option number A is delta option. The length will change by given value. Positive value will increase the length and negative value will decrease the length. Option number B, percent. Length will change by giving percentage value, like 200% will double the length, 50% will half the length. Option number C, total. Provide total length of line or arc and then click on the object, and the total length of the object will change accordingly. And option number D is dynamic. Decide on the screen only, taking the reference of other objects. So we have these four options. Let us go to the model space and try it out. For this command friends, we'll have to work on the primitive objects like line or an arc only, because this particular command cannot be used on the grouped objects or complex objects like this sofa or the armchair. So let us see this command on this line. This line is having a length of 2000 millimeters and I want to change the length of this. I should go for a lengthen command. I can type down LEN, or I can catch it from the modify tab, or we can take it from the modify panel. As I press enter, we get four options. I go for a delta option. I'll type down DE, enter. I want to increase the length of this line by 500 millimeters. I'll type down delta length as 500. And as I click on this line on this end point, the length of this line will change. This will increase by 500 millimeters. In case I click on the other end point, this will increase on the other side. Now for the delta option again, I give the length as -500 this time. As I click on this line, the length will decrease by 500 millimeters. I again click on the line, this will again decrease by another 500 millimeters. So that was a delta option. Now we come to the percent option. I type down P, enter. Suppose I want to make this line half. In that case, I will go for a percent option. I'll type down 50 because we all know that 50% means half. As I press enter and I click on the line, the length of the line is reduced to just half. I again click on the line and this is again reduced to just half, and I again click and this is again reduced to just half of the current length. If I want to make it double, again go to percent option, type down 200, press enter. As I click on the line, this is double now. I again click, this is double of the current length, and I again click to make it double of the current length. The next option is total. I click on total. I take the total option by typing down T. I want the final length of this line to be 2500 millimeters. I should type down the final length I want for this line, 2500, and press enter and simply click on the line. As I click on the line, the total or the final length of the line will be 2500 millimeters precisely. And then the next option is, suppose I want to increase the length of this line so that it crosses this wall. So for that, I'll go for a lengthen command. I'll take a dynamic option because I do not know what is the distance I'm looking for. I'll just select the line, and as I move the cursor, see the line length is also changing, and supposingly I wanted this line to just pass through this wall. and this much length I wanted for this line, I'll simply click there and the line length becomes that much. So that was the fourth and the last option in the lengthen command known as a dynamic option. So friend, that was a lecture on these modify commands. I hope you like this lecture. In case you like this lecture, please do like it and please share it with your friends. Do not forget to subscribe my channel CAD by Amit and do press bell icon as well so that you keep getting notifications on my new lectures. So thank you so much. Take care.